In general, the market seems to be pleased with XTI Aerospace's shift from developing the Tri-Fan VTOL to building a vertically integrated drone platform focused on distribution, domestic manufacturing, and defense, helped by the acquisition of Drone Nerds last year. Sentiments that have been seen with falling price stalling upon contacting the 2 to 182 range, while selling volume drastically decreased. So the most recent drop after the post-earnings surge to the 240s is relatively weak for the time being. That's why, unless price can keep driving lower, with volume closer to at least 3 million, a drop into the 150s is less likely for now. Though it will be helpful to cross over these downtrend lines and return above 220 by the second half of May to avoid the scales tipping back in bearish favor, with continued pressure on the $2 boundary. From XTI's Q4 and full year 2025 results last week, it showed pro forma revenue reached about $121.6 million in 2025, with gross margins around 22% and positive cash flow driven primarily by its distribution business. Fourth quarter pro forma revenue was $41.7 million. While it still reported net losses, its core operations, especially Drone Nerds, are generating EBITDA and providing a stabilizing commercial foundation. What attracts bulls for the long-haul flight is XTI's strategy that's built around the three pillars of access, control, and dominance. Access refers to Drone Nerds' role as a leading U.S. drone distribution platform, serving over 14,500 customers across industries like utilities, construction, and public safety. Besides generating more immediate revenue, this business also provides market data and customer relationships. Control focuses on expanding U.S.-based NDAA-compliant manufacturing to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers and improve margins through vertical integration. Dominance targets higher-value defense opportunities, with XTI developing autonomous drone systems for military and government customers and building a pipeline of programs which are seen as presenting long-term potential. The defense segment is a key growth driver, with 5 programs in development and roughly $147 million in R&D contract value, alongside potential manufacturing opportunities estimated at $1.5 billion. XTI is positioning itself as both a contractor and subcontractor for U.S. defense agencies, supported by compliance credentials and new leadership hires with aerospace and defense experience. Looking ahead, XTI projects more than $160 million in revenue for 2026, implying over 30% growth, which it intends to achieve with increased efficiency, expanded domestic manufacturing capabilities, and by deepening its presence in government contracting while continuing to grow its commercial platform. So continuing to cruise over $2 will largely depend on how well XTI repositions itself from a capital-intensive aerospace developer of the Tri-Fan 600 into a diversified drone and defense platform with nearer-term revenue streams. Especially since there can still be headwinds from competition, capital needs, the need to execute plans fast in a rapidly evolving market, seeing as how drones are starting to fly into more facets of life in the military and civilian world. In the airline arena, continued volatility around oil prices makes long-term planning difficult and keeps the industry in a state of uncertainty. Airlines are attempting to pass these higher costs on to consumers, and while demand has remained relatively strong, especially among higher-income travelers, there are signs that sustained price increases could weaken demand over time. If oil prices eventually fall, airlines may retain some of these fare increases, improving margins. For example, United Airlines reported strong revenue growth and profitability, but still cut its 2026 earnings outlook due to rising fuel costs. To cope, it has raised ticket prices, increased fees, reduced planned capacity, and introduced a cargo market disruption surcharge to offset broader cost pressures. Despite these challenges, United remains relatively strong compared to competitors, supported by premium demand and the ability to pass on higher costs. Its performance highlights how larger, well-positioned airlines can better absorb fuel shocks, even as they adjust operations to protect margins. American Airlines, by contrast, faces a more uncertain financial position. Although it has reported solid revenue and demand, it is dealing with a sharp increase in fuel expenses estimated in the billions, and has lowered its outlook to the point where a full-year loss is possible. Like United, it is raising fares and trimming less profitable routes, but its thinner margins make it more vulnerable to prolonged high fuel prices. Both airlines illustrate how rising oil prices can erode profitability even during periods of strong travel demand, with stronger carriers better able to manage the impact. These pressures are also influencing industry structure and decisions. A proposed merger between American Airlines and United Airlines has been effectively rejected due to political and regulatory concerns about reduced competition. This signals that large-scale consolidation among major airlines faces significant barriers, even in challenging economic conditions. Instead, airlines are exploring more flexible arrangements. American is pursuing a potential partnership with Alaska Airlines, focusing on revenue sharing and coordinated networks, allowing both airlines to expand their reach and improve competitiveness without the risks and scrutiny associated with a full merger. Meanwhile, weaker carriers are struggling to survive in the high-cost environment created by rising fuel prices. Spirit Airlines is a clear example, having faced repeated financial distress and bankruptcy filings. Its low-cost model leaves little room to absorb higher fuel expenses, making it especially vulnerable when prices spike. There is ongoing discussion about finding a buyer or providing government support, and United Airlines has been mentioned as a potential acquirer. This situation underscores how fuel price volatility disproportionately affects budget airlines that lack the pricing power of larger competitors. That's why even United is going to be encountering stiff headwinds to stay on this moderate incline for another attempt at decisively surpassing 100. Whereas persisting closes under 90 into May would open up better conditions to dive lower into the 80s towards the middle of the year, even with volume around 9 million. Different numbers, similar story for American trying to keep up that slow slog to the firm frontier at 13, with a dangerous crosswind lurking to accelerate it down to the $10 boundary if this tenuous flight path in the early channel isn't followed. Now up to what Boeing is showing and where it could be going. In contrast to the peak in price on its chart, Boeing started 2026 with high-flying fundamentals, with first-quarter revenue rising 14% to $22.2 billion, driven largely by increased commercial aircraft deliveries and growth across its defense and services businesses. Losses narrowed compared to the previous year, signaling continued recovery after years of operational setbacks. It delivered 143 airplanes during the quarter and maintained a massive backlog approaching $700 billion, providing long-term revenue visibility and stability despite ongoing challenges. However, profitability remains constrained. Boeing posted a modest operating margin of 2% and negative free cash flow of $1.5 billion, reflecting the high costs of ramping up production and ongoing investments. Its commercial airplanes division, while growing, is still operating at a loss, highlighting persistent inefficiencies and supply chain pressures. Issues such as wiring defects in the 737 program and certification delays affecting the 787 have slowed deliveries and added complexity. Broader supply chain disruptions, particularly involving engines and aircraft interiors, continue to limit production momentum. Other segments performed better. Boeing's Defense, Space, and Security unit saw strong revenue growth and improving margins, supported by rising global defense spending and active military programs. Its Global Services division remained a key profit driver, with high margins and a record backlog, helping offset volatility in commercial aviation. Looking ahead, Boeing expects to return to positive free cash flow later in the year, forecasting between $1 billion and $3 billion. Production increases, especially for the 737 program, and progress on aircraft certification are central to its recovery strategy. While geopolitical tensions and higher fuel costs are affecting airline customers, Boeing has not yet seen significant impacts on orders or deliveries. So it could very well capitalize on the break over the downtrend line, especially if it keeps closing above 230 to establish a presence in the old declined double top range. Though if the broader market starts to lean more neutral to bearish at all-time highs, Boeing could follow the herd and even dip down about $15. However, unless it suffers sizable setbacks to its turnaround with things like supply chain stability and unsuccessful certification of key aircraft programs or difficulty with the 737 program, it still has decent support to stay afloat over the low 200 range. Moving higher in the atmosphere, Rocket Lab's been seeing some red stars as of late, just like most of the space sector, though it hasn't been a red-hot drop with below-average volume. And without getting closer to daily volume of 30 million, the downswing is less likely to heat up into a deep downtrend past the 70s. Instead, it seems more inclined to take a more neutral to slightly bullish posture towards May 7th, when it will report for Q1 2026. If the market responds positively to that, it could be just enough to start reapplying pressure for another attempt at rocketing past the long-term 100 boundary. Helped by lingering momentum from Rocket Lab unveiling its high-performance star tracker, STHP, designed to deliver precise spacecraft pointing with better than 1 arcsecond accuracy, even in high radiation environments. The STHP is built to withstand over 50 kRad, ensuring reliable attitude determination for long-duration missions in low Earth orbit and beyond. Leveraging Rocket Lab's experience with over 185 prior star trackers, the new device combines in-house design and production with advanced radiation hardening, offering a scalable and cost-effective solution for commercial and government spacecraft without compromising performance or reliability. Its development is supported by Rocket Lab's Toronto facility, which provides state-of-the-art manufacturing and calibration capabilities. Rocket Lab's reputation also rolls along since it successfully completed its second dedicated launch for the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, deploying 8 satellites through the Kokushin Rising mission. These included educational nanosats, an ocean monitoring satellite, and innovative demonstration payloads like origami-style deployable antennas and ultra-small multispectral cameras. This mission follows Rocket Lab's December 2025 launch for JAXA and reinforces the Electron rocket's reputation for precision, reliability, and rapid deployment, as well as strengthening the partnership between Rocket Lab and Japan's National Space Agency. Rocket Lab also finalized its acquisition of Mynaric AG, a leading laser optical communications provider, for $155.3 million in cash and stock. Mynaric's technology addresses a long-standing supply chain gap in high-performance, scalable laser communications for satellite constellations. The acquisition establishes Rocket Lab's first European presence in Munich and expands its ability to support European space programs. Mynaric has been a key partner for Rocket Lab, supplying optical terminals for $1.3 billion in Space Development Agency contracts, and the integration is expected to scale the technology efficiently for commercial and government applications. Together, these developments advance spacecraft components, reliable launch capabilities, and laser communications integration, demonstrating Rocket Lab's strategy of vertical integration, technology leadership, and global expansion, positioning it to meet growing demand for precise, resilient, and cost-effective space systems.